So recently I've been watching a lot more of this guy's videos, and he's quickly become probably one of my favorite YouTube channels in the platform, period. His name is Walter Masterson. I'm going to copy-paste this video in the chat right now, and of course it will also be pinned in the description down below when this video goes up on YouTube so that you get Walter, put your dick away, Walter. I'm not having sex with you right now, Walter. Yeah. I'm going to drop his link in the chat right now. Please go subscribe, drop a like, go send support. This is a channel you need to be subbed to. You need to be watching this guy if you're a lefty and you're on YouTube. His content is awesome. So recently, Donald Trump obviously got indicted with treason charges. It's real serious. We've already gone over this. But his supporters went outside the courthouse in Miami to protest. And what Walter Masterson does is he goes to right-wing protests, acting like a conservative figure, and he trolls them into admitting how stupid, and dishonest they are, because their guard is down because they don't know they're talking to a lefty. He's really, really good. We're going to watch a couple of his videos that he did at this particular protest, because I feel it's important to remind us ourselves how far gone our political opposition are, because some of them truly are beyond saving. And they are just downright fascist because they like fascism. And it's just that simple. Let's watch.
National Archives already knew that he had the documents. They went to his house, looked at the room, and said, "This is fine. We only recommend that you add an extra lock to everything." And Trump said, "Okay." And then they added another lock.
They added another lock to the bathroom?
No, not to the bathroom. It was to the storage room where they had the documents.
They were never in the bathroom.
Dude, why would anybody keep them in a bathroom?
Explain to my audience why Trump is innocent.
Because he doesn't do anything wrong.
He declassified all of these documents.
He declassified them.
The president has the right to declassify, and he did declassify on his way out.
He was the president, and when he left, he declassified everything.
Every president has a right to declassify anything they want.
Okay, sometimes he does a thing where he trolls by holding a Slim Jim out in front of the person instead of a mic, and they'll still talk into it for some reason. So that's what he was doing there.
Yes, declassify them, and this is a witch hunt.
Yeah,
Another one.
And I also think that the Democrats planted these documents.
Yes.
I know that he declassified the documents.
Okay, something he'll also do is literally make shit up. He'll just make up a new conspiracy theory a conservative would believe on the spot, and they'll agree with it, and just immediately add it to their belief set the instant he says it. You have to understand that is how these people operate. It's not that she just learned a fact that she believes, it's that she's learned a new conspiracy theory lie she can bring up when talking to her less politically involved friends that she can brainwash into believing the same shit she does on Facebook or whatever. Like, oh yeah, I should say that too, the Democrats planted that shit. That'll be a good talking point on Facebook.
But I also think that the Democrats planted the documents.
It could be. There's rumors to that effect.
They planted the documents that he had declassified.
I wouldn't be surprised.
You wouldn't be surprised.
The process.
He declassified them, and then they planted those same documents.
It's ridiculous. It's one thing after another.
Donald Trump declassified the documents.
Makes no sense.
But I also think that they were planted.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would believe that.
I mean, so planting the documents, it's not far from what they do.
You wouldn't put it past them.
No, well, no. As a matter of fact, I would almost bet on it.
I don't put planting out of the way of this DOJ.
He's keeping it for himself, maybe writing a book, putting it in his library.
He was writing a book. Yes, he was writing a book.
It's part of his life.
Yeah, it's part of his life. It's part of his history.
President Trump's documents were protected by the Secret Service, which their documents, again, were not protected by the Secret Service.
You bring up a good point. Pictures of these documents, they were being protected 24/7.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and it looked like it too.
Most important message for all these woke people, liberals, whatever. Once you try to arrest your political opponent, you know that you're becoming third world country.
You have these Democrats chanting, "Lock him up."
Oh! This guy is the inheritor of a multi-billion-dollar fortune. I forget what the name of the motor company is that he's going to inherit, but it's a multi-billion-dollar fortune this guy is going to inherit. This guy is going to become one of the richest people in the world very soon. He is going to be like on Elon Musk's, like in the tier with Elon Musk almost, at some point in the future. He is going to be as big of a deal as Elon insofar as like the list of rich people that are like in the world as Elon when he inherits that fortune. That's right. That's right. This guy very well might be the next Elon. This is what capitalism does. Any old asshole can inherit billions of dollars and become one of the most powerful people in the nation. Any old asshole. That's right. That's right. This is capitalism, baby. Capitalism and democracy work real well together, don't they, chat?
You know, you have these Democrats.
What about Hillary Clinton?
Yeah. What about
those emails?
What about her email?
I mean, let's look at the Biden crime family. That's who should be.
What about Clinton? What about 33,000 emails that were bleached off her server? What about all the criminal?
What about her emails?
What about her emails? Lock her up.
Alvin Bragg, who's a nutcase. Jack Smith is totally corrupt. I think they should both be in jail.
This is called punishment by process.
Look at the picture. The bathroom is spotless. Dude, why would anybody keep them in a bathroom?
Look at the picture. The bathroom is spotless. Why would anybody keep them in a bathroom?
Somebody that has the money, that is a very clean person.
Someone was cleaning the bathroom every week.
Yeah, with the money he has, he's probably paying someone to do it, of course. It's a resort.
Why would anybody keep them in a bathroom?
So you're saying, so the Democrats planted those documents?
No, they moved them probably to the location for the picture. It's just a picture. It's just where they are at the moment. It's a resort. You know, that's like if you were to take the boxes and put them on the front of the house and take a picture. It doesn't mean that's where he kept them. That's just where they happened to take the picture after they took them.
Good fucking God. It doesn't end there, by the way. He went to the protests and he got multiple like interviews. My favorite had to be, so as you guys know, the Chuds are super mad about Pride Month because it's June. Last month was May, which happens to be Veterans Month. We have a month to honor veterans 1 month before Pride Month. Now, veterans have notoriously been the false, like, cudgel for the right to claim they care about some group of Americans' well-being for a long time. They, of course, have fucked over veterans at every turn, but they still love to virtue signal about how much they support our troops, right? Because they only believe in, like, American patriotism and aesthetic only. Insofar as it can benefit them and their ideology, they like patriotism, but they aren't actually supporters of the troops or anything like that. However, they do love to push them as like their, oh, this is our group we advocate for, right? So come Pride Month, they all started this year complaining about how there's no Veterans Month. But they were doing it in the last few days of May, right before Pride Month, during Veterans Month, indicating they don't know Veterans Month exists. Indicating they don't really seem to give that much of a shit about veterans at all. Because it's lefties that know Veterans Month exists and are pointing it out to these conservatives that are indicating they do not. So apparently, lefties don't care about veterans or the troops, but they're the ones who actually know this fucking month exists. And conservatives don't. Which should be quite telling. I'm a vet and I don't know Veterans Month exists? Really? That's crazy. Yeah, but it's mostly lefties that know about it. I know about it from school. Anyway, he went to that same protest, obviously, and he interviewed people asking about Pride Month and whether or not veterans should have a month. And as you can imagine, the responses, that one video we just watched was not an anomaly, chat.
It's sad because all the black men and the white men and men of other colors also died for this country. We have 1 day for Memorial Day and 1 month
That's
for LGBT.
right. They should have a month for veterans.
Yeah.
There should be a month for veterans, right?
Why not?
Yeah, there should maybe like 2 months.
Why not?
Yeah.
Where are we going to find that kind of bravery, okay?
So there should be a month for veterans, right?
1000%. There should be everything.
There he is again.
There should be a white American history.
Why isn't there a month for veterans?
Because it doesn't go with what they're trying to push.
You're a veteran. I think veterans should get a
Have
month.
a month. I believe
Yeah,
that too.
yeah. You said like 2 months.
Yeah.
I think there should be a month for veterans, right?
Yes, absolutely. We should have more than 1 month for veterans.
Maybe like 2 months.
Yeah, or like the whole year, like Trump is saying.
What do you think about Pride Month?
I don't know. I mean, if there's going to be a Pride Month, there should be a month for everything, right?
There should be a month for veterans.
Everything. Veterans, straight people, white people, black people, Asian people,
You know,
gay
it's like,
people,
yeah,
everything.
They have a whole month for LGBTQ, but they don't have a month
They
for
don't know.
veterans.
Yeah, they don't have a month for veterans.
What do you think about Pride Month?
You know, I'm proud to be an American, and I'm a straight male as well. That's my Pride Month.
We have a whole month for Pride, but we don't have a month for veterans.
Well, the president should take care of that. You hear that, Joe?
Do you hear that, Sleepy Joe? There should be a month for veterans. There should actually be 2 months, maybe 3. You're right. I mean,
They did a lot for this country.
what'd you do for May?
From MAGA,
May. What'd you do for the month of May?
didn't do anything. It's normal for me.
I know. It's a normal month.
Yeah.
Right.
Send
Yeah.
my kids to school.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, no, there should be a month for veterans. What'd you do for May?
For me.
They don't even know, dog.
Oh, it was my mom's birthday in May.
Oh,
so.
cool. Happy
Yeah.
birthday.
Yeah.
Veterans deserve a month. Maybe 2 months.
Yeah. Let's look at the Biden crime family. That's who should be here today. Is President Biden and his son. Hunter Biden and the president.
They think we're stupid.
Yeah.
Super stupid. We are dumb.
Yeah, they think we're so dumb.
And it's not stupid anymore. It's dumb.
They think we're so stupid and that we can't see what's happening right in front of our face.
A Toblerone.
I think this is one of the worst days in history since maybe Lincoln being assassinated.
Oh my fucking god. He's talking
Think
and doing.
about it, 'cause they're sending.
How?
They wanna,
Okay. There's no way that, like, he didn't say, listen, for just a joke in this particular interview, talking to the Toblerone. There's no way this guy doesn't look at that and say, hold on a minute, why the fuck are you having me talking to a Toblerone or a Slim Jim? Has this guy never been to a gas station before? To be fair, they are, like, dressed up and all this, like, get up for Trump in the middle of, like, Miami, Florida heat. And so there's a good chance they're suffering from heat stroke right now. Let's be real, chat. As a Floridian, there is a very much non-zero chance that about half this crowd is currently suffering from heat stroke in this video.
Nuclear football, because you cannot turn the nuclear power over when you're in an insurrection.
He still has the briefcase?
He does.
Wow. Okay, tell me everything.
Space Force has got it all. And you know what? The scum keeps rising to the top.
Wait,
like
tell
the
me about
Senators.
Space Force. What's Space Force?
Space Force. Don't you remember Trump created the?
Yeah, he created Space Force.
So Space Force has nothing to do with space. Space is intelligence. This is intelligence, and that they have recorded it all. Space Force has got it all.
What do they have?
They got the riots from Black Lives Matter. They got Antifa. They got J6. They got it all.
From space?
Yeah. Well, it's it's technology basically.
It's technology.
They also got the rods of God too. You know what that is?
What are the rods of God?
Think about it. Rods of God. It's something that comes directly from space, and it pinpoints your target. He lost. He let them steal the election because they tried to steal it during Hillary, right? And the military stepped in, right? And that's why they.
For those that don't know, he is unironically claiming right now that a science fiction concept where you have a satellite with a bunch of steel or titanium, or the heavier and more dense the better, like tungsten would be ideal, or something, lead, like spikes that you drop down from orbit, and the speed and power of gravity and terminal velocity cause it to be like a super powerful, like nuke-sized explosion when it hits the ground, right? Not real, not a thing that we actually have. One thing you need to remember is that the cost to send things up into space is based off of weight. So the issue is to make thing come down super hard and fast, it needs to be super dense and heavy, right? Which means you need to spend a shit ton of energy and money to get it up into orbit. And the more heavy what you're sending up into orbit is, the more fuel you need, which adds on more weight, which means more fuel. And so at that point, you're literally having to deal with, like, a monster-sized rocket, like the biggest rocket ever made in existence by far, just to send one of those tungsten rods up, if you wanted one that could do any substantial damage, right? This does not exist, at least not yet. It's just like we barely send like water up to space because of how heavy it is, okay? Like we have to limit how much water we send up to the ISS because it's so expensive to send it up there, right? We send foods freeze-dried to make it as light as possible to save money. We are not sending rods of super dense metal up into space to drop on places on the planet. Also, someone would have figured that out by now with either a telescope or a camera seeing it hit the ground, you know, because it would be literally earth-shaking.
And steal it because we don't elect people anymore; they're selected, and that's been happening for God knows how long.
Yeah, they're like selected by like the Supreme Court.
Yeah, and who would put? No, they're selected by the globalists who put all the money behind them, and they put all the fake votes and whatever they do to turn an election.
He means Jewish space
and
lasers.
There was a 16-year plan between Obama and Hillary.
Serbians for Trump.
Serbians for Trump.
I'm for Serbia.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're definitely not going to support Clintons. They bombed us in 1999 for their own
This guy reminds me of NoHo Hank from Barry.
agendas. NATO bombed us in 1999.
They did it to get rid of
Slobodan Milosevic, yeah.
Slobodan Milosevic of all people. So you don't think Ukraine should be an independent country?
Let me tell you something. Whoever knows the history, all right? You know who created Ukraine? Lenin in early 1900s, right? And you know,
so it should be a communist country?
No, Ukraine is not a communist country.
But Lenin
was, but he created Ukraine.
Okay.
You know where the original Russia was formed?
Where?
In Kiev. Nowadays Kiev. Original name of Russia was Kiev, Russia. We all know the Ukraine is the most corrupted country, period, you know?
Yeah, it's too
It is not.
corrupt.
It's way too corrupted, way too corrupt.
Shouldn't be independent.
Well, it's independent. Ukraine is already an independent country.
But it shouldn't stay independent.
I guarantee you one thing, if Trump was the president, the war will never happen. Will never happen.
Yeah, because Trump would just let Putin,
He wouldn't let him. He wouldn't let him.
Wait, so Trump would go to war with him?
No, he wouldn't.
But he would let him.
I like how it's like when he approaches them in a way where it's like he's just a fellow bro looking to learn more. They try to explain their beliefs in a way that's less prepared for defense. And so if you are there to capture them with the mask off or saying the dumb shit they say to each other when they aren't being challenged, it's just so easy to get it out of them. It makes me wonder if I should do like more content where I try to make conservatives think I'm one of them and like draw out their beliefs from there and see how much awful shit I can get them to admit. Like it feels like such a more effective way than outright debating them, because they'll just come up with a million different dog whistles and deflections, you know? So having to trick them into dropping the mask seems like it's kind of the meta. Like, I think this guy is probably, like, Ethan Klein does it too. I unironically think the current debate meta is to pretend like you're friendly with the conservative or chud that you're debating and slowly, like, act like you're just curious about them and what they believe, non-confrontationally until they drop the mask, and just kind of baiting them into saying stupid shit and letting it hang. Yeah, like, it really just seems like that's the way to do it, because, to be fair, we are back in another, like, Gamergate era where, like, every conservative pundit is, like, feeding their audience this, like, dialogue line of lies. And it falls apart with scrutiny, but it is also effective to just kind of have a go-to. Like a go-to method that doesn't even, like, allow them to think to use that defense. Because they aren't even, like, in defense mode, right? I really do enjoy that channel. I think Walter Masterson's probably one of, if not, like, the best debate-type channel on YouTube. I feel like he's really helped fill in the hole that was left by Andrew Callahan, like, ending up being a massive piece of shit. I hope you guys check out his channel. I hope you guys send support over to Walter Masterson. He deserves it. He makes some damn good content, and it's some of the best shit I've seen on YouTube.